Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be a Q&A, get to know me, ask me whatever you want to ask me type of vibe. I love doing these videos. I try to post on my Instagram to do this video maybe like once every 2 months or so, just to kind of give people a chance to ask me the questions that have kind of always been on their heart or on their mind, you know, from watching my vlogs or watching my grocery hauls or following me on socials. I like to leave these question boxes every couple of months or so. So it's been a minute since I've posted one, and I want to say it's been right around 2 months, maybe 3, since I last did one. But it's up on my channel, and so I wanted to sit down and answer some more questions because I've got about 20 of them that have come through from the post that I put up on Instagram. So I will leave my Instagram like little handle right here, so make sure if you're not following me there, you definitely should, because whenever I want to do Q&As or I want ideas for videos or anything like that, when I want to like quickly communicate with my friends, with my audience, I like to post over on my stories. That way you can quickly respond or get back to me like within that 24-hour time frame, and then those questions or comments or whatever are usually in my Q&A videos. So don't forget to go follow me over there if you are not already, and also if you are not subscribed to my channel, you totally should subscribe. We are hitting really big milestones over here, and I'm very blessed, very excited about what the Lord is doing for my channel. I just surpassed 100,000 views, and I'm also surpassed 2,600 subscribers. I'm very blessed to have y'all here, and I'm grateful for y'all's friendship and for y'all's just continued support and like just supporting my dream and being a part of my dream. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and just jump right into the questions. I'm gonna try to make this video pretty much as straight shot through as I can. Grab something to drink. I am drinking a strawberry bubbly, the best. I love bubbly so much. I'm getting lime bubbly on my next grocery order. So excited. So grab something to drink. I'm having a bubbly. You know, your throat gets dry and you kind of need something to drink when you're sitting down doing a Q&A, talking at the camera for 20-30 minutes. So come along. I'm gonna do my best to not talk too much because y'all know me, but I want to just answer the questions and just kind of hang out with you guys. I'll probably get questions on this dress. This dress is from Amazon. It is absolutely darling, and what I love most about it is it's a very like modest friendly dress. So this is an actual like little clip here if you like to be a little bit more covered, and then you can actually unsnap this if you like a deeper V-cut, but I prefer to be modestly dressed. Y'all know me. So I love this dress. If I remember at the end of this video, I will stand up and show you guys like a full flow of this dress. Spike, please stop it, leave it alone. He's trying to go into the cabinet in the bathroom. Also, my cats are around. They haven't wanted me all day. They have not wanted nothing to do with me all day, but as soon as mama pulls out the camera and wants to sit down and just do her thing, then of course here they come. So I'm gonna set my drink up there out the way. Let's go ahead and just dive right into this video. The first question that I got was, also the questions are on my phone, that goes without saying, so if I'm looking at my phone often, forgive me. But the first question that I got was, do we have any plans for travels for 2023? And the short answer is, we're thinking about it. The long answer is me and my husband got married 6 months before the pandemic hit. So me and my husband got married in June of 2019, and then by December of 2019 we were hearing whispers of a virus, a sickness that was going around that they kind of didn't know what was going on. They saw it was kind of fast spreading. You know, we didn't really know. If y'all can kind of go back in time with me, nobody really knew what to expect in December of 2019, but we knew of a virus. And then 2020 hit, January, February, March, and we were starting to see our first cases of the virus here in America. So essentially, me and my husband have not been able to travel or make any plans because we married 6 months before the pandemic hit. So that's a long version. And then now things have definitely died off, praise the Lord, and we can make plans to like do a cruise or get on a plane, travel, go out of town, go out of state or whatever if we wanted to, but we've really only just been talking about it. We haven't made any official plans. So if we do, of course I'm bringing the camera and you guys will come along for all of that fun, but as of right now we're really just talking about it. We don't know what we'll do. We might just go somewhere close enough to just be able to drive, or we might fly. Who knows what we'll do, but we have been talking about it. I mentioned it to him this morning, but who knows? But regardless, y'all will be coming along for the ride. And then someone kind of asked me to go into details about my boys, their age, what kind of cats they are, how we got them, why we have two, and all of that. So Simba is my black and white tuxedo. He's 4 years old. He weighs about 17 pounds. And yes, I refer to my cats as my boys because they're my literal children. I treat them like human children because they are. They're my human children. Simba is my oldest. He's 4 years old and he's about 17 pounds. He's black and white tuxedo. And I took him in from a coworker of mine when I worked on base, because her family had developed an allergy to the cats. I took him in when he was 7 months old, and he has been with us ever since. He's lived in all of our houses, all of our apartments that we've lived in. He has been with us, and me and my husband had only been married just a few months before we took him in. And then we fostered a cat, and that cat's name was Leo, and he was a itty bitty thing. He was probably about 4 or 5 months old, and I mean itty bitty, but he was very, very feral, and you never really knew what to expect with him. He had like some behavioral issues, and he really needed to be in a home where someone was home 24/7. And we just were not. At the time, I was working outside my home, so I would have to like make sure nobody came to the house if I wasn't there, or like put him in a kennel, and that's like no way for a kitty to have to live. He was potty trained, and he was well behaved with me and my husband, but he was not well behaved around like other people. Like, you never knew how he would act. Like, he was real hissy. Like, he nipped at my mom, like he bit my mom. He had some behavioral issues, and he needed the attention that we couldn't give him. And it's not right to hold on to an animal that you know you should probably be giving better attention to. And he just needed like some behavioral help. He just did, and that's not something that we could give him. So we made the hard decision to rehome him. I know his owner. I have her number. Like, we talk all the time. I get to see him all the time, and he is thriving. He is older, and he is not as feral. He's kind of broken out of that. But anyway, when we rehomed Leo, Simba was really affected by that. He would cry, and he didn't have a desire to like play and run around like he used to all the time. And Simba was young. Like, Simba was only like 2 years old. He was not even 2 when we took Leo in, but then we kept Leo for like 6 or 7 months, and then Simba had turned 2. And so we knew that Simba was really affected by not having a friend. And like, he's the kind of kitty cat, like, he thrives having a little sibling. So that's when I was, it had been about 8-ish months or so. I'm not good with timelines. It had been some time. And we decided that we wanted to get another cat for Simba. And I follow a local rehoming group on Facebook, and I just kind of would go on there a couple times a week and keep my eye open. And then Spike became available, and he was about 2 hours away from us, like 2 hours west of us. So the people who were rehoming him and then us, we just like met in the middle. So we each drove about an hour like to the center of Florida, and we met and we picked Spike up. And Spike was about the same age that Simba was when we got him. I don't know Spike's exact age, but if I had to guess, I would say he's about a year and change. Probably somewhere between a year and like a year and 6 months. Spike, speak of the devil. And so we took him in, and it took Simba a while to get used to Spike. And by a while, I mean like 3 days. It didn't take that long at all. But Simba was really, really hissy with him. And then once he realized, like, okay, so he's staying, like, mama's cuddling him and loving on him. Like, Spike doesn't hiss. Like, Spike doesn't cause issues. He doesn't do any. Spike does not hiss. I've never seen him mad once a day in my life. Simba is very temperamental and very protective and very much so spoiled. And so when you come in his space and you kind of disrupt his peace, he has a problem with that. But now he's obsessed with his brother, and he can't live without his brother. And if Spike goes in a different room, Simba's following him, and vice versa. So they're very, very close. So I gave you guys the stats on Simba. Spike is a black and brown tabby. He's gorgeous, and he weighs about 12 pounds, and I would say he's coming up on about 2 years of age, but we don't have his exact age. Simba's my 4-year-old. So Spike is our baby, and Simba is our oldest. So those are my boys. And then somebody asked me, what area do you see God most in your life currently? 2 areas: ministry and in my content creation. 110%. In my ministry, I see him weekly. Literally, I'm the most involved in ministry now than I've ever been in our church in the 3 years that me and my husband have been at this church. I'm involved in women's ministry, and I'm heavily involved with the high school ministry, and I'm heavily involved with women's ministry. We're in the middle of a spring study right now with the women's ministry, and then lots of fun activities and things coming up with my high school girls over the next like few weeks. And then the summer is going to bring summer camp, and then fall's going to bring fall retreat. There's going to be so many things going on, and I'm so excited about it. So yeah, that's where I'm seeing God the most. Like, the Lord just blesses me on the daily when it comes to my ministry with my church, and I'm a very blessed woman to be able to be involved in ministry in this way. And then with my content creation, I mean, people have been telling me left and right, like, they're seeing the growth, they're seeing the they're seeing the fruits of my labor, and that just makes me feel so good. I mean, we just surpassed 2,600 subscribers, and I have just surpassed 100,000 views on my channel, and I am, even saying it is like 100,000 views, like, that's a lot of people, that's a lot of folks clicking on videos. Or a lot of times somebody has clicked on a video and said, I want to watch her hot mess of a channel. Like, that's a lot of that is a lot of times somebody decided they were going to come here and give my channel a try, and I'm grateful for it. So yes, those are the areas that I see God in. Someone asked, where do I shop for my clothes? Amazon, Target, Kohl's. Here lately I've been loving to go to Kohl's and check out their clearance racks. Kohl's is really expensive, so a lot of times I wait, like, I'll keep my eye on something and watch it on the clearance racks, and then once it hits the clearance racks, or once the season turns over, I'll go in there and I'll find on the clearance rack literally for like 50% off, because I'm not going to pay $40 for a dress when I could pay $22 for a dress and use Kohl's cash. So yeah, Amazon for sure, that's where I got this beauty from, because I'm a huge fan of like modest, slightly vintagey, like modern vintagey looking clothes, and I can find that type of stuff on Amazon. Still modern and still kind of like chic and trendy, but it gives me like an old vintagey vibe. That's what this dress does for me. Obsessed. Kohl's, Amazon, Target for sure. Love Target, especially when they do, like, every year they usually do like a big 30% off of women's clothes or 20% off of women's clothes. That's when I go and stock up because I love their dresses. The top places are Amazon, Target, and Ross. Those are my tops. And then I do check Kohl's every now and then. I do check Walmart, Pennies, you know, places like that. My favorite verse, this says my favorite verse right now. This has been my favorite verse, period, and that is Psalm 63 verse 3. Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you. And I actually shared that verse in my vlog that I posted like last week when I had that Amazon haul and I ordered my new Bible. I shared that verse with y'all, and that's my favorite verse. I'm not going to make this real long-winded, but that's my favorite verse, because throughout my life I have learned that, and we all can relate, like, life goes in ebbs and flows. Like, life is hard, life is a blessing, life is happy, life is exciting, you know, life is a breeze, life sucks. Life is awful, life is mean, life is not fair. But the one thing about life that is constant is the love that God has for us as a people, and that is constant. Like, his love is going to be constant through the chaos that is life. And when that scripture came to me, and I forget, I want to say that scripture either came to me like one day years ago as like the verse of the day on the Bible app. I forget if I was looking up scriptures for encouragement. I forget how that scripture came about. But when I read that scripture and it said, because your love, the love of Christ, the love of God is better than this life. It's better than anything that could ever happen to me in this life. You guys know how bad I want to be a mama. His love surpasses me ever having children and being a mama. His love surpasses me ever loving my husband and having a great life. His love surpasses anything that I could ever do in this life. And because of that, I have to glorify him. I have to live my life for him. I don't have a choice. When you really think about it, you know, I was raised Pentecostal. When I think about the goodness of God and all he's done, that's why it's my favorite verse. We're gonna leave it right there. Somebody asked me, what do I do for work? I work with a healthcare company in my area in Florida. They are the largest healthcare company in this county, like by far the largest, absolute largest healthcare company. And they own the hospitals, they have doctor's offices, they have imaging centers, they have labs, they have a pharmacy. I mean, just the largest. And I work with the insurance side of it because they also have their own insurance. So I work with the insurance side of it, and I work remote, praise the Lord, work from home insurance. So I work, and I can work the members line, and I can also work with the providers. So I just assist, you know, whether it's the members or whether it's the providers, I just assist them with claims, you know, questions about their medications, questions about their eligibility and coverage. They want to make payments for their premium, they want to sign up for our insurance, all that kind of stuff, just insurance in general. So it's boring, but it's important work. I happen to be somewhat good at it, and I'm grateful that this job has come to me. So that's what I do for work. If I was a Starbucks drink, what would my name be? That is funny. I don't know what my name would be. I would be a cocoa caramel frappuccino. That just came to me. Cocoa, of course, because you know she's cocoa caramel frappuccino. And it would be shot of espresso, you know, your milk, your ice. It would be chocolate syrup and caramel, and then it would have chocolate and caramel swirl all in the cup. It would have whipped cream on the bottom and whipped cream on the top, just like the caramel ribbon crunch, if you know, you know. And on the top, it would have caramel swirl and chocolate swirl and a little caramel crunchies and like chocolate chips or something. I don't know, just super fun and sweet and bad for you. But like a feel-good drink, you pick it up, you walk around Target, you have a good time. Like a drink you want in the summer, like that would be me. My biggest goal for 2023. My biggest goal for 2023 is to get to a spot where I am bringing in a steady revenue from my content on YouTube. That's my biggest dream right now. If I could get to a point where I'm living that dream, that ultimate goal of fully supporting, you know, my family from my revenue on YouTube, that honestly is my biggest goal. Did me and Bobby have a first dance? No. We did, however, have a song, a wedding song that I walked down the aisle to. And actually the person who asked me this question, hey Sarah, she already kind of like knows my story because me and her have talked about our weddings together. Like we've talked about how our weddings are similar and yet different. Both of us had small weddings. So I had a very small wedding. It was at my local church. It was at my church that we were members of. And we did not have a first dance. We literally had our reception on a Sunday, like a couple hours after service, and then we all went to a seafood restaurant and had the best time and just all ate together. It was like, I don't know, 20 of us, and it was awesome. So we did not do like a formal reception, like, so all the things that would happen at a reception, we didn't do none of that. We got married. I had a registry, so folks did bring gifts and gift cards and things like that. Very blessed for that, but we did not have a like reception. So no first dance, no speeches, no none of that. But our song is I Found Love by, I think it's by CC and BB Winans. I'm gonna have to leave it down below if I remember, but that is our wedding song. It's the song that my husband picked out, that's like the song that he's dedicated to me from like day one. So yeah, that was our wedding song, even though we did not do a first dance. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Yeah. You put it on bread, you put toppings on it, and you eat it. Yeah, it's a sandwich. What is my biggest accomplishment? I don't know. I don't know what my biggest, sorry, my camera stopped recording. I don't know what my biggest accomplishment is. I would say currently my biggest accomplishment is my content, because for so long I was very kind of sporadic. Like I would post and then disappear for like literally months, like 4, 5, 6 months, and then come back like nothing ever happened and have to do like these giant massive life updates about all the things that have popped off in my life. But I feel like I don't have to do that now. I've taken my content creation seriously, and the benefit of doing that, the reward from doing that, the fruits of doing that is now showing itself. So that's a really big accomplishment. She also said, hey Bobby. My hubby says hey. He has not been on my channel in so long, but that's just because his work schedule, he's tired all the time, and then I try to be intentional about being done vlogging when my husband gets home, because he works a mid shift, and he gets off at like 7:30 at night. So when he gets home at 8, we don't have we don't have a big window to just have some intentional time and do dinner and all the things before we need to go to bed, because we work in the morning. So I try to just be done vlogging before he gets home. That way I can have time with him. But he always says hey. He's always here. He's always in the comments. So he sees all the comments and all the things. So he says hey. My favorite real YouTubers and content creators. If I could just think of some off the top of my head, Home with Haley, Haley Weiss, Paige Danielle, I really like her. Brooklyn Maldonado, she's really nice. I'm trying to think of like everyone who's like in my thing. Matter of fact, let's just pull it up. Let's just pull it up. Steph Thompson, I love her. That's my friend in Australia. Jessica O'Donoghue, she does a lot of cooking and like hanging out in the kitchen. Takesha Nesbitt over at Everyday Nesbitt. Autumn Amin, I love her so much. I found her last year and I binge watched all her stuff, like 2 years worth of content. I binged it all in like just a few months. I love her channel a lot. I've been following Rochelle and Justin for a really long time. They have their like infertility and all that. I really love their channel. Ellen Fisher, let me know if you guys watch Ellen Fisher. She is a vegan. Her and her husband, I want to say they were high school sweethearts, and they lived in California, and that's where they like were born and like grew up in California. And then they decided they wanted to live in Hawaii and live the island life, and so they moved to Hawaii. And she has 5 children that she has birthed all in her home, completely unmedicated and unassisted. You know, she has like a midwife and stuff, but just completely unassisted. There, you know, just had the strength to birth all her children in the comfort and safety of her home. And they just live like their best Hawaiian life. She has almost 1 million subscribers, but she's like always been just herself. She's very authentic. She's not out here trying to like be anybody other than who she is. She's just Ellen, and her husband is just Andrew, and they have 5 children. They're very eclectic, so very different. Their children's names are very different. I love her. Let me not go on a tangent. And then if you guys are like into Weight Watchers, Home with Haley, she was the first person I mentioned, but then also too, Nikki Gets Fit. She's really good as well. So those are just some of the people that are literally just like show up here at the top. I just went through some of those. Okay, favorite cheap meal. Anything with rice and chicken. Rice and, I think that's kind of underrated. I think when we think about cheap, some of us can resort to pasta or like a breakfast food, like breakfast for dinner. Breakfast for dinner is cheap and it is quick to make, but my favorite cheap meal is easily chicken and rice. I'm the kind of person, I always have rice in my pantry. Always. Even now that I'm trying to do low carb, I always have white rice in my pantry. That is just how I was raised. It's just the South for you. We always got white rice in the pantry. So white rice, if you got white rice, you got a can of cream of something, which I try to always keep a can of cream of mushroom, can of cream of chicken, something in the pantry. And you got either some chicken broth or like some Norris bouillon powder where you can make your own chicken stock. And you got some chicken in that freezer, no matter what kind of cut of chicken it is. That's a whole meal right there. That's a whole meal. Because sorry, my husband called, but yes, that's what I love. That's a whole meal right there, because literally all you have to do, and you can make it like a 1-pan casserole, like literally a 1-pan casserole. All you got to do is put a cup of rice at the bottom of a casserole dish, and in a bowl mix up that cream of chicken or that cream of mushroom with 2 cups or a cup of that chicken broth. Mix that together, pour it over the rice, mix it all in the uncooked rice, and then you lay your chicken over top. You cover it with aluminum foil. You can season it with salt, pepper, whatever you want to season your chicken with, and you just cover it with aluminum foil, and then you bake it for like an hour, and it's done. And you already had rice in your kitchen. You already had cream of whatever. Like I said, I try to keep that stuff on hand, cream of whatever, and then you might have chicken in your freezer, and if you don't, you run to the store, you buy chicken breast for, I can get chicken breast for like $5 or $6 where I live. And it's a meal. So to me, that's like one of the easiest meals you can make. Breakfast is also another easy one, and then pasta is also another easy one, because pasta is like $1 a box. Sauce, depending on what kind of sauce you like, will run you $2 or $3. And then if you want to get ground beef to beef it up, then you can get a chuck roll of beef for about $3.50 here in Florida where I live. So that's another easy option too. But literally, chicken with rice, or like chicken with like a canned vegetable, it sounds so cliche, but literally, and I mean, the girl Sarah, who asked this question, she knows anyway. Chicken is like a go-to for us, but you know that I am not just saying that, but I literally live by that, where it's like if we need to find something to eat quick, easy, fairly healthy, it's going to be chicken and vegetables, and it's going to be like, or it's going to be like chicken and rice. It's going to be very, very cheap, cost affordable, quick and easy. It tastes good. That's my go-to. Will we ever meet in real life? Yes, Sarah, we will meet in real life. We will, we will, we will. I pray, pray, pray we meet in real life. Somebody asked, you mentioned Dave Ramsey in one of your videos. Are y'all following the baby steps? So we did take the Dave Ramsey course. They offered it for free at my church, and we took the course at my church last year, and we really did enjoy it. We are not currently following baby steps. However, I have implemented a lot of his practices and little tactics and tips and tricks into my life. You can, that stuff is public record. You can look all that stuff up. Google, YouTube, Pinterest, and all the baby steps and all that will pop up for you. It is free knowledge, but we follow bits and pieces of them, but we're not like currently following it right now. No. Okay, sorry, my battery died. Okay, next question. Can a non-religious woman be a homemaker? Absolutely. I could literally go on a whole tangent about this topic. At the end of the day, everyone who lives this life is not religious. And that's just the truth of the matter, the world we live in. It would be very ignorant of religious people to assume that everyone was religious, just like it would be very ignorant of non-religious people to assume everyone was non-religious. At the end of the day, folks are going to live and believe how they choose to. And in my personal opinion, it has nothing to do with you being a homemaker. I am not just a homemaker, if that makes sense. My reasons for being a gatekeeper of my home, a keeper of my home, a manager of all the things that happen within the confines of my home, taking care of my house and home, and serving my husband, those reasons for me are from a biblical standpoint. I 110% see being home and choosing this life over like going out and climbing the corporate ladder and being like a boss babe and all that. I chose this life over that life strictly for my own convictions according to what I believe in. I'm a Christian woman first, and I believe that this is where the Lord has called me to serve and to exercise and implement my talents are within the confines of my home. I would much rather serve and help support and take care of my husband and his dreams of going out and working or like reaching his goals or doing whatever it is he wants to do, and then I can support him and be his helpmeet in that. And also too, it is my hope and dream for YouTube to be my work and my business, if you will. So there will come a day when I won't be working in corporate America, and I will, for all intents and purposes, retire from corporate America. But there are women out there in the world who want to take care of their home and take care of their husband and be home with their children and homeschool and homestead and all that, and they don't have a belief. They don't have a faith. I believe that for women who believe in the Christian faith, the two go hand in hand, but it may not go hand in hand for everyone, if that makes sense. For me, they go hand in hand. This is what I do because I feel the Lord has absolutely 110% called me to it. Like me and my husband were just talking about this a couple nights ago, like me being home and the story of how I came home, which that video was on my channel as well. It's called How and Why I Became a Stay-at-Home Wife with No Kids. But my husband was just saying a couple nights ago, he's like, babe, this is literally what we have always wanted, what we've always felt was right for our family dynamic. We feel this is where the Lord has called you, and this is how our family thrives best, and this is what we've prayed for. But it doesn't mean that if a woman is not a Christian or not a Catholic or not of the Islam faith or not of the Jewish faith, that she's not a homemaker. If you take care of house and home, and you would rather be home to serve your family and serve your home and not work, you are, in all intents and purposes, a homemaker, regardless of your faith. But you will find that 9 times out of 10 in the like social media world, you will find that a lot of women who proclaim this lifestyle as a homemaker and as a keeper of home, you will find that they are 9 times out of 10 of the Christian faith. And everyone may not agree with me, and that's fine, but you definitely do not have to proclaim to be a Catholic or proclaim to be a Christian or proclaim to be, you know, a Muslim to be home. That, no. Who said I love you first? You or Bobby? My hubby told me he loved me first, and he literally told me he loved me within like a week. Our story is kind of funny. Me and my husband are gonna have to sit down and tell like a little in-depth story. We might do that one day. Who knows? We keep saying we will, and then we never do it. But I mean, maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll sit down and just like talk about it in a vlog or something. But it was funny. But yeah, my husband said I love you first. What is my home style? I really love farmhouse. I think y'all knew that before I even said it. I'm really drawn to the farmhouse. What is the age difference between me and my sister? I was born June of 93. My sister was born 17 months later in February of 95. How do I deal with work stress? Sarah, I voice message you. I have voice message I talk with my girlfriends. Sometimes I will step away from the computer, take the headset off, step away from the computer, go take a walk, go sit out on my patio, you know, hug my kitties, pray, read the Bible, you know, text my best friend, or, you know, whatever. Get, you know, just do something completely different. Like 9 times out of 10, it involves me completely stepping away from work. And when I say completely, I mean like putting myself on a break and like stepping away for 15 minutes or so. And that's how I deal with work stress. Lots of prayer, stay in the word, reach out to my friends, get encouragement. That's how I deal with work stress. And I also keep on the forefront of my mind that this is a means to an end. My friend Sarah taught me that, and that I'm working this job with an end goal in sight. I'm not working this job forever. I'm working this job with an end goal in sight. So, okay. How do we work through disagreements or rough times? Me and Bobby, we talk about them 110%. We talk about them. Like early on in our marriage, we acted like we didn't know what communication was, and that was like detrimental to our relationship. As soon as we realized that talking about it and having a disagreement it was okay to have a disagreement, and it was actually okay to talk through that disagreement. Once we realized that that was a positive thing, believe it or not, like that's positive. It's positive when you find disagreements in the person that you love, and then you're mature enough and open enough to talk about them. You realize what that would do for your relationship. That's just, you'd be shocked what that does for your relationship. And so once we figured out that communication really was key, relationship went up from there. Favorite sponges? Girl, Scrub Daddy. That's what I use. Even the square ones that I use now, they come in a pack of 4. They're the Scrub Daddy brand, and you get 4 of the Scrub Daddy sponges for the price of 1 Scrub Daddy Smiley, and it works the same, and they last just as long. So I don't even buy the Smileys anymore if I can help it, unless I find like them on sale or something. I just buy the square scrub sponges because it's the same thing, and you get 4 for the price of 1 Scrub Daddy Smiley. Someone said, oh, my bestie friend of 21 years said, what's the hardest part about marriage in your opinion? Hardest part by far is that the person that you married is not the person that they will be forever. Period. Even Treasure, me and you gonna have a little moment, okay? We've been friends 21 years. I am not the same Kendra that I was when we met at 7 years old, and you're not the same Treasure that you were at 7 years old. And so it works the same in a marriage, like, and this is actually advice that I got. I'm talking to everybody now. This is actually advice that I got from a friend of mine when I had first met my husband. And me and my husband, we were in premarital counseling. This is before we had got married. We were still in our engagement. And someone had shared with us that the person that you marry is not the same person that they will be forever. And that person will always change, and you will forever and always be remarrying, if that makes sense. Just learning that new person as life goes on, and just learning to constantly like shift and mold with them, because you yourself will shift and mold as time goes on. And then, you know, you throw kids in the mix, or you throw a house in the mix, or maybe like y'all get blessed and like finances come into the mix, or maybe you hit a rough spot and someone gets sick, or heaven forbid loses a limb, or you know, they become disabled or whatever. And so that person always changes over time. And it's important to remember that the person that you married and fell in love with, it's not their responsibility to always be that 19-year-old or that 20-year-old or that fresh 30-year-old that you met and fell in love with, because life happens, and when life happens to people, it changes people. And so again, going back to the example of like if someone was to get hurt, or they lose their job, or you all have a baby, or whatever, someone gets sick, like life just comes along, like financial issues, and life will just come along and just kind of change you and your spouse. And so understanding that you all will change over your marriage, but that you signed up to love that person through it all, that's probably like one of the hardest things that like I've had to learn. And I would say my husband too, because I definitely have changed over the years in a good way, but I've definitely changed. And yeah, that person's constantly shifting and molding, just as life shifts and molds them. And you signed up to, you know, to stick with that person through those shifts and those molds. So yeah, that's, to me, that's like probably the hardest or most challenging part. Is there anything I regret doing or not regret doing? I kind of regret not traveling more while I was young. I mean, and that sounds crazy because as a child, you clearly can't just travel by yourself, but like I've always been in Brevard my whole life. I mean, I kind of regret not like getting on a plane sooner. I kind of regret not experiencing being in water sooner, like going on cruises and stuff, and getting out of the country more. Like with my best friend, Treasure, we, the 2 times I had ever been out of the country, like ever, was with her when we went on cruises. And so yeah, like just not experiencing as much travel. I think I kind of regret that. I try not to live with regret, because at the end of the day, what am I going to do? Change it? Nothing. But if I could think back on things that I would change, I would probably want to travel more, because once you travel, that's it. You always want to travel. There's a thrill about it. There's the fun. You make memories. It's like no other. I enjoy traveling. When I traveled for work last year in June, you guys know I was in Kansas for 5 weeks, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time up there. I thoroughly enjoyed being up there, and I was up there completely alone. I was with my team, but essentially I traveled alone because I worked at my base by myself. And yeah, if I could change like just one thing over the last like 10-ish years since leaving high school, it would be to travel more, for sure. What is something I fear? Locusts, the dentist. I remembered to show you guys the dress. So here's what the dress looks like. She has pockets, and yeah, like I said, there's like a clip right here. So if you like a, you know, like a regular, you know, V or whatever, but I really love this because it has like a little snap there. So it gives me the nice modest coverage that I like. And then this is what the back of the dress looks like. I absolutely love this dress. It's like a baby doll type of dress. Like a frilly sleeve, love that, like a real cute little delicate feminine touch. And then the bottom, which I don't know if I can, so here's the bottom of the dress. It's like right at mid-calf, and it's got this cute little detail. I'm sure you can see that, but like a little ruching around the bottom. Love it. And it's a light, delicate linen material, but it is not see-through. And I don't have many like cute baby doll blue in my closet. Propped y'all back up. But yes, I love the fact that it's like a cute baby doll blue. I absolutely love that. Because like I said, I don't have many colors that are this color, with this beautiful pink, like rosy, I don't know if this is roses or wildflowers or what, but I love this print. And this has a bow here. This is completely removable. It's got the little straps on the side. You can take this out when you wash it. So yeah, it's my dress. All right, y'all, so that is all the questions for this Q&A. I have no idea how long this video is because I was recording for probably 15-20 minutes before my battery died, and then I just recorded for another like 20-ish minutes. So I'm gonna see how long this video is, if I cut it a little bit, if I don't cut it. If it's long, it's just long. You guys know I put out long videos anyway. So I hope you guys did enjoy coming along, hanging out with me, listening to me go on and on, answering some questions that you guys had. And I will be doing another Q&A here in a couple of months. So again, make sure you're following me over on Instagram. That way you can be the first to know when I put up a question box, and you can send me some questions. If I missed someone's question, I am very sorry. Leave it in the comments. If you watch this video and you were like, I asked a question and she didn't answer it, my apologies in advance. Go ahead and just leave it in the comment box and I will answer it. And I'll comment down there. So if you guys you never know, somebody may ask me another question and I'll answer it down in the comments. So go check out the comments. Make sure you go down there and say hi. If you are already subscribed, ask a friend to come over and say hi to me. And then if you are not subscribed, what are you doing? Make sure you subscribe. We are trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. It's going to be a glorious, glorious day when that happens. I have a goal this year of 5,000 subscribers. So let's see how close we can get to that. Subscribing to my channel is completely free to you, but it means the world to me and it changes my world. So I'm very, very excited that you guys are here. You spent some time with me. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I will catch you guys in my next video, which 9 times out of 10 is going to be a grocery haul. And then of course we got some day in the life vlogs coming your way. I love you guys more than anything. And I will talk to y'all real soon in another video.
One day she said, write me a love song, 'cause I know you'll make it beautiful. And maybe I'll call you my sweetheart and promise nobody can steal me away. Then I am yours.